Hello, welcome back to Unknown and Talented. My name is Jelan Abrams, and Happy New Year. I'm recording this is, January 2024. We made it to another year. I'm excited, just like you are. New year, new me. I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna read books. I'm gonna start a business. Basically, the same thing we hear every single year after every single year. We said the same thing 2023, same thing 2022, the same thing in 1999, depending on how old you are. But basically, we've been saying the same thing every single year, and nothing's been happening. You start off the year super excited. January, February, you're excited. Your motivation is pumping. You're ready to make this change, and then after a while, you just get distracted. You get distracted with life, distracted with your friends, and distracted with your family, distracted with your work, and you end up putting your goals and everything on the back burner. But we're not gonna do that this year. This year, like I said, this year is about me. This year is by setting clear priorities. We want to make sure we get our priorities in check so we're not getting distracted by all these things. There's a millions of distractions in the world. We have a distraction in our hand 24/7. But we have to make sure that we can't make the distraction bigger than the goal. The goal is to make this year the best year of your life. And the only way we're going to do that is by being a different person. We say new year, new me, but we don't really know what that means. It means of being 100% different. You can't be a little bit of yourself. You have to completely change. And that's the only way your life is going to change. So what we have to do, we have to learn how to set boundaries for ourselves, set boundaries for our goals, so no one could come in and destroy what you're setting up for this year. Because this year is your year. This year is going to be special. This year you're going to be losing weight. This year you're eating healthy. This year you're starting a business, right? This is all the things that you said, all the things that you posted, all the things you put on your vision board. This is all the stuff you said you're going to do. So now you have to protect it. Now you have to create boundaries to protect it from the outside world. So what is a boundary? A boundary is emotional, physical, relational limits set to protect your well-being, maintain a healthy balance between personal needs and the demands of the world. So just like I said, it's to protect yourself from everything else around you. That's what boundaries are. If you're into sports, you think about football, you think about the lines on the court, on basketball, the lines on the field in soccer. Those are the boundaries. Those are the out of bounds lines. In basketball, it's 5-on-5. We can't have everybody that's out of bounds be in the game too. That's going to make it unfair. So that's what we have to do for our goals. We have to set boundaries around them so no one is just, coming in to your life and destroying what you have set up. So why are boundaries so important? The reason why they're important is because they help you put your needs first. You put your needs before anyone else, anything in the world, any shade room talk, gossip. All of that stuff is out the window because you're putting yourself first. You're setting those clear priorities of what you have to get done. So that's why they're so important. Time is probably the most valuable thing we have. We think about, like I said, each year we're doing the same thing. Each year we're getting a year older. Even though it might be fun for the countdown to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year. That's exciting, but each year we're getting older. Each year we're getting more gray hair. I started getting gray hair like 25 or something like that. It's gonna keep going, and then next thing you know, your knees are gonna start hurting, and you can't do the same things you were doing before. So that's why we have to make sure that we use the time we have wisely. I was watching a random video on Instagram, and it was a clip from, I don't know what movie it was, but it was a clip where Eddie Murphy was saying 75 years. 75 years all we have. And that's if we're lucky. 75 years. So I did some research, and it's actually less than 75. It's like, for black men especially, it's 69 years. That's basically the average that a black male lives up to. And that's kind of crazy to think about, because right now I'm 32. I lived 32 years, and that seemed like that went by quick. I'm going to be, 32 plus 32, 64, before you know it. And then to say that the most life I'll have is 69. Like, you got to make sure you're putting yourself first, because you look up, you ran out of time and you didn't accomplish anything, but you were able to say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year. And you have the same goals at 32 that you have now at what, 50, 55? Like, it's kind of crazy to think about because there's so many different kind of boundaries we can set. So the first one I was talking about is more like your time. For example, you set a goal of I want to read 10 pages a day in my book because that's what you want to do for the New Year's. You get home from work and now you're ready to read those 10 pages. But guess what? Your best friend calls you because she's going through a crisis. And now you're talking to her for 2 hours about what she got going on. You went to bed without reading your book. So that's not only time that was took from you, but also emotional capacity. Because now, let's say you finish talking to her at 2 hours, you still have time to read your book, but your mind is not there anymore. You don't have the emotional capacity to pick up a book or to even think about anything in your life because now your mind is full of everything she got to go through. You're worrying about how to solve her problems instead of solving your own problems. Everybody got their own problems in life. That's one thing everyone has. Everyone has problems, but the person's problems you need to be solving is your own. You can't worry about what everybody else got going on because they're going to figure it out. The problems they have, God gave them their problems to figure it out. You're not here to solve people's problems. You're here to solve your own problems. The only time you're trying to solve other people's problems is when you have a business. That's when you need to be solving somebody else's problems because they're going to be paying you to get those solved. You're not a therapist. Unless you're a therapist and you're charging, solve everybody's problems, but you're not going to just be doing stuff for free because you still have your goals. You wrote down everything you want to do. Your new year, new me. You don't have the capacity to listen to somebody for 2 hours or even 10 minutes. Time is super precious. You think about you being 10 minutes late for work. Somebody called you before work and that wasted 10 minutes of your time. Time is extremely precious. So you can't be just making sure you can't just be using that time for everybody. You got to make sure you cutting that stuff down because we want to make sure that we accomplish everything that we said we was going to accomplish. So you're listening to this and I'm talking about setting boundaries. You might think to yourself that I don't really need to set boundary people because nobody's using my time. Nobody's wasting my time. I'm able to get everything I want done. But then really think about it. Think about the things that you have planned out. You wake up and you're doing so many different activities, but then you look at your to-do list and you haven't got anything done. So you look up, you're doing stuff, you're being very active, but your priority that's you set in the beginning, those clear priorities, you're not doing it. So you're very active, you're very busy, you're on the phone, you're doing this, you're doing that, but you're not doing what you said you were going to do. So you do so many different things and then you look up, you haven't done anything. Once you're able to get yourself together and reach your goals, you can help as many people as you can. I recently seen this video of Mike Epps. He bought his old neighborhood. So pretty much he bought every single house in the neighborhood. He renovated it and then helped sell it back to people that are less fortunate, people that cannot really afford, a house. He's selling it for reasonable prices so they can actually have, a good house, which is a great thing to do. But he didn't start doing stuff like that until he made sure he was. And that's where we have to set those boundaries of letting people know that, I can't help you right now because I'm set on what I got to do. I'm setting it on my goal. These are things that I want to accomplish in life. So I say all of this, but I kind of want to leave y'all with something that y'all can actually use in your everyday life. So now I'm going to teach you how to actually set a boundary, which is it's not as hard as you think because for me being such a kind person and nice person and really caring about people, you could feel like it's setting a boundary of letting somebody know that, I can't help you today. It's like mean. It's not really mean. You're saying no. It's the power of saying no. Because even though you're saying no to that person and they might feel a way that you're saying no to them, you're saying yes to yourself. You're saying yes to your goals, yes to your aspirations, yes to new year, new me, because this is a new you. This is not the same person that you were before. So you just can't look at it like that. You're looking at it as I have goals that I want to set and I'm saying yes to my goals. So don't even look at it like you're saying no to anybody because you're not saying no. You're saying yes. Yes to me is a no to you, which is okay. But I'm saying yes to me and then no to you. The first step to get to this kind of mindset is reflect. Is reflect on what your goals are. This should be easy because this is the beginning of the year. So you have your list of New Year's resolutions. Look at that list of New Year's resolutions. Every time someone contacts you to do you a favor, before you even answer them, look at that list that you have, that you set, the 10 things that you set for the new year. Look at that list. And if that thing they want you to do helps you out with anything on that list, sure, go ahead and do it. But if it doesn't help you with anything on that list, you have to say no. Because at the end of the day, what you're doing, you're saying yes to yourself. You also have to communicate. You're going to have to communicate to your loved ones that you're setting a boundary, that you're not going to be able to answer the phone. You're not going to be able to answer the text message. You're not going to be able to do that favor. You're not going to be able to go to that party. You're not going to be able to do a lot of different things because you're tired of living in stagnation. You're tired of each year going by. You out here popping bottles in the club for New Year's, but nothing changed. You're getting excited for nothing. This is the same thing we did last year. I feel like it's just deja vu. We out here partying, celebrating nothing because we didn't accomplish anything because we're worried about everything that you have to do in your life. The main thing you have to worry about is you. Every year, a year's passing by, I'm finding new gray hairs in my head, but I'm not checking off anything on my to-do list. That's terrible. I don't want to be having a hair full of grays and I ain't getting nothing done that I wanted to get done. When you get gray hair, it's like, oh, that's wisdom. But if you're doing the same thing over and over every single year, what wisdom do you have? I had the same wisdom when I had all black hair if I didn't actually get nothing done. So you got to communicate with the people in your life that, I can't do that anymore. I love you, but me accomplishing these goals is me saying yes to myself. Another way to do it is don't communicate. Don't tell people that you're setting boundaries with them. Just don't answer the phone. They call you, let it ring. They text you, ignore it. That's the only other way to do it. You have to communicate with them or don't communicate. You have to let them know that I don't have time. I was busy. And you were busy. Think about it. If you're at work and somebody calls you and you didn't answer, what you going to say? Hey, sorry, I was at work. And then you're like, okay, that's understandable. But when it's time to to read your book because you want to make sure you read 10 books in a year and someone calls you during that time, you're going to answer because you're not at work. That's the same thing you got to say. Oh, sorry, I'm reading my book. Oh, sorry, I'm starting my business. Or don't even say sorry, to be honest with you. I'm starting my business. I'm reading my book. I'm working out. Those things are just as important as doing that job. Just as important. And that's how you got to treat it. Just don't answer. I text you when I'm done. When I check off everything on my to-do list that I set to last night, that's when I call you back. If I don't get everything done until 11 o'clock, you might not hear from me because I was busy. Because at the end of the day, people get the message. Like me, I hate people ignoring me. If somebody ignores me, you're never going to hear from me again because I hate it. But now that I'm thinking about setting boundaries, that's what they were doing. Things are more important. When somebody ignores you, they're doing something more important than what you got going on. My goals are more important than what anybody else has going on. Your goals are more important than what everybody else got going on. So you gotta cut those people off and do what you gotta do. So I'm not telling you to just cut the world off and just stick to your goals 24/7. That's all you want to do. What we're doing is setting the list of things that we want to accomplish. Get those things accomplished first, and then you can help as many people as you want because you've done exactly what you had to do. You have a list of 5 things, get those things done, and then now you can go help. Now you can go talk. Now you can go listen to people and vent and all that stuff. You can do all that stuff, but my main thing is making sure that you get your stuff done first. The first thing you do when you wake up, you shouldn't be jumping on social media to watch the gossip, to answer your DMs, check text messages. That's not what you should do when you first wake up. When you first wake up, be alone with yourself. Get your mind right. Start planning out your day on how you're going to accomplish your goals. That's the only way you're going to move forward in life. Once you've done what you need to do, yes, help everybody out. It's a blessing to be able to help people, but you can't do it if you haven't got nothing done. You have to put yourself first. And that's what we're doing this New Year's, putting yourself first. So hopefully that was able to help you learn what boundaries are and why they're important. And think about it. You're not saying no. You're saying yes. You're saying yes to yourself. making sure you get all your stuff done, because 2025 is going to be here before we know it. And you got two choices. You could be sitting there again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm in the same spot I was in last year. Or you could be doing something crazier because you was able to accomplish everything you set out to accomplish. But set those boundaries, communicate, or don't communicate with those people. But make sure you having yourself done first. And then you're able to party, you're able to do everything. I'm not telling you to be a straight shooter, like, just tunnel vision. You can't do nothing else. Get yourself done. Have your priorities in order. All your stuff first. I'm first, and everybody else second. That's how you gotta live your life. So let's get these things done. But that's all I got for you today. Again, happy New Year's. New year, new me. I'm gonna see y'all in the gym. I'm gonna see y'all reading books. I'm gonna see y'all losing weight. I'm gonna see y'all eating healthy. I'm gonna see y'all starting these businesses. Let's do it. So, new year, new me. My name is Jelan Abrams, the new Jelan Abrams, unknown and talented. And make sure y'all comment, subscribe, leave ratings, share it. If this helped you out at all, share it to somebody else. That's how we grow. We grow by sharing it. Word of mouth is probably the most beneficial way to actually grow anything. So if it helped you out, don't just save it to yourself. Share it to somebody, send it to somebody, so they can change their life too. So 2025, y'all are partying together because y'all was both able to get your life together. But appreciate y'all listening, and see you next week.